Hello, everyone. Thanks for joining me again. As requested last time, someone wanted me to explain how to build GUIs, and I will do that. I will tell you how to build GUIs. I will be using a library for this. It's called libgui. It's part of Cotton MC, and it makes it possible to build UI very, very easily. So I will put in the description this GitHub repository. Um, and you will find a link here. So what you do to add this library is you first add the repository, just paste that in there, and then you add the dependency. And I've done that here. Make sure that you replace the version with whatever is said here. And when you have done this, we can get started on building the mod. All right, so now that we have the dependency, let's start with making a GUI. So there's two types we are going to go into, block GUIs and client-sided GUIs. Now block GUIs are GUIs that pop up when you open a container or something like an inventory, like if you were to right-click a furnace. Client-sided GUIs will only happen on the client. So let's say you have an item and you right click on with it, it will open a GUI. So let's start with the client-sided GUIs first because I think that is the easiest. So let's start with creating an item first. And this item, we will right click it to open a GUI. To create an item, we will first add a new package, call it items. And we will add an item in here called, let's call it book. Let's just call it GUI opener. No, GUI item. They're just anything. You can make it anything. This will extend item, the constructor. You go back here. Now you instantiate this item. Again, I will not go too much in detail on how you create items. This is just simple code that will add the item to the inventory. There's a million better tutorials going way deeper into this. So I'm just going to register the item now. There you go. So now we registered the item. So let's say we want to open the item when we right click on it. There's a method called use. Here it is. And this method will execute when the item is being used. So in other words, being right clicked. So now we can start making the GUI itself. First, we will make a package to store our GUIs. so we stay nice and organized. We will create a new class called screen, example screen. And this class can extend cotton client screen. Create constructor. Yep. And now we create a GUI, example GUI. And this can extend lightweight GUI description. Now, this is the main GUI item, and here everything is going to happen. So what we need is the constructor. And first thing we're going to do is create a panel that will have everything in it. So if you know HTML, it would be the body tag. Everything is going in there. So there's a bunch of different panels you can choose from. But I really like the grid panel because it makes everything easy to lay out in a grid, so you don't have to worry about lining everything up pixel perfect. It'll do it for you. So what we do for that is we create a grid panel. I'll call it root because this is the main panel. And we will set this panel as the root. And we will make sure the size of it is a decent size. Let's start with 300 by 200. So now all we have to do is open the screen itself. So we were going to do that by right-clicking the item. So when we go back to the item, all we have to do is write in this piece, this line of code. We open the example screen, and the example screen we're going to feed the GUI. And that should be it. We can now launch the game. Now we are in game with the item, and when we right click it, you'll see this very beautiful empty GUI will display. Now back into coding, we want to add things to the empty GUI. We have this GUI and we added the root panel. Now we want to add things to this. There's a bunch of different widgets we can put on it. In libGUI, the elements you put on a GUI are called widgets, prefixed with the W. Well, let's go over a few of the widgets that can be used. So you can see here this dependency of libGUI, and you can open it to see the source code. And you can see all the widgets available here. So you have the button, which is very useful. The grid panel that we already used. You have the label, if you want to put text on the screen. Scroll bar, slider, sprite, if you want to put an image on the screen. Text field is input. And a toggle button. I mean, it's all self-explanatory. And you can use all of these. So let's start with the easiest. Let's type some text in this panel. So to do this, we need a label, like I said. Not the regular label, W label. There you go. And we need to add what it's going to say in there, which is going to be hello world. Uh, Now the content is added. We need to set the position inside the root panel. So we need to get the root and we need to place the label in there. So the way we do that is root.add, add the label, and we need to supply the x and y coordinates. Start with 1 and 1. Remember, this is not in pixels, this is in the grid. So it will put it in the first cell of the first uh, row. And now we can launch the game again to see how it looks. Now if you right click the item, you will see hello world appear in there. Alright, and there you have it. Um, Now you know how to make client-side GUIs. Um, I said that I was going to go into the other GUIs in this video, but I'm going to do it in next video because I figured that it's probably a little too complicated to put in this video and it's gonna make this video too long. Um, so in the next video we'll go into inventories and making a GUI for the inventory, of course. So I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching. I hope this was helpful. Um, the documentation for libGUI is in the description as well. I basically went over the getting started part, the client-side GUIs part. If you want to go into inventories already, you should take a look at getting started with GUIs part. Anyways, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.